Exceptionally for a character actor, he has had a handful of films, including The Belly of an Architect, 1987, a rare foray into art house cinema. Dennehys' extraordinary spectrum, from huddled vulnerability to fury capable of frightening the gods, has been given free rein to the otherwise austere account of British director Peter Greenaway of He also gave a complex and convincing performance as serial killer John Wayne Gacy in the television miniseries To Catch a Killer, 1992. But it was on stage that Dennehys established himself as a true colossus and one of the greatest tragedians in the United States. He won the Tony and Olivier Awards for playing Willy Loman in the New York and London productions of Death of a Salesman, in 1999 and 2005 respectively, as well as a Golden Globe and a Screen Actors. "You can play Willy like a little man with big ideas," wrote Michael Billington in his review of opera production, but what Dennehys gives us is a physical giant in the face of his own vulnerability. Falls also directed him twice in another Eugene O'Neill masterpiece, The Iceman Cometh, first in 1990 with Dennehys as charismatic chef, Hickey, then in 2012 with him playing the philosopher informer. Preparing for the most recent, he said, "The only way to do it is to grab the fucking audience by the throat, shake the shit and say, 'Do you think you're out of here alive? You are not.'" Get ready to spill your fucking blood, because I'm going to spill mine, and you come with me. O'Neill's work was vital to any understanding of Dennehys number 8211. Falls also directed him in productions of Huey, A Touch of the Poet and Desire Under the Elms number 8211, and claimed to agree with the BT. "Except for my children and grandchildren and my wife, it is quite difficult not to look outside and feel dark. I'm not as dark as O'Neill, thank God. But I have my dark moments." His own personality flowed freely in these performances. Falls always says that I have more rage than anyone he has ever known. Number 8230, the tragic game involves going to these places that really exist in yourself. I have no trouble accessing it. He was an intemperate drinker, describing himself as a former working alcoholic, and joked once, "During my evenings, the sheriff's service comes 3 or 4 times when." It's pretty obvious to me. Irish Catholic, obsolete Catholic, whatever hell you want to call it. Someone who has definitely done 15 rounds with alcohol and ended up with a lot of dark eyes and broken teeth because of it. He was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and grew up first in Brooklyn, New York, then, from the age of 12, in Mineola, Long Island, by his parents Hannah, née Mannion, and Edward Dennehys, associate PR. He was educated at Chaminade High School, where a teacher encouraged him to pursue an acting career. He chose sport instead and went to Columbia University with a soccer scholarship before joining the Marines. He told the New York Times in 1989 that he was injured by bus shrapnel in Vietnam. When it later emerged that he had not been used at all, he apologized for fabricating his file. After the Marines, he graduated from Yale with a graduate diploma in drama, then worked as a delivery driver, butcher, bartender and stockbroker. In the early 1970s, he decided to give a concerted boost after several years of community theatre on Long Island. The roles on stage in New York eventually led to minor parts in the films, starting with Looking for Mr. Goodbar and Semi-Tough, both in 1977, and on television like Kojak, Emma S.H., Dallas and his cinematographic work has become increasingly memorable. He played a consoling bartender in the comedy Dudley Moore 10, 1979, a father whose son joined a cult in Split Image, 1982, A Moonlight Sea. Notable theatre credits include the title role in Brecht's Galileo in 1986 at the Goodman Theatre, his first play with Falls, and Loperkin in Peter Brook's cover of The Cherry Orchard at the Brooklyn Egg. Dennehys has worked tirelessly throughout his career. He appeared in a series of TV movies, 5 of which he also directed, such as Chicago Cop Jack Reed, starting with Deadly Matrimony, 1992. Recently, he had recurring television roles in Public Morals, 2015, and The Blacklist, 2016-19. He is survived by his wife, costume designer Jennifer Arnott, whom he married in 1988, as well as their children, Cormac and Sarah, as well as 3 daughters, Elizabeth, Kathleen, and Deirdre, from H. Brian Mannion Dennehys, actor, born July 9, 1938, died on April 15, 2020.